This is episode 588. And today we're going to be talking about 4 simple steps to raise self-esteem. So just a quick review, self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, or actually the opinion you have about yourself. And everyone has times when we feel a little bit low or find it hard to believe in themselves or ourselves. We have those days. We have the up days, we have the down days. Self-esteem is often the result of a lifetime of experiences, and particularly what happened to us as children. Now, this podcast is not going to be therapy to cure that, but but we need to know where some of this stuff has manifested from. It's possible to improve. It is possible to improve your self-esteem at any age. And in this podcast, I'm going to go over 4 steps to improve that. If you really want to dive deep into self-esteem, Psycho-Cybernetics is a wonderful, wonderful book because it talks about self-esteem and our self-image. So our self-image and our self-esteem go hand in glove. And we create our experiences, we create our reality in accordance to our self-esteem and our self-image. If we see ourselves as a victim, we are going to unconsciously create events in our life to be victimized. If we see ourselves as broke, we are going to create events in our life that support being broke. There's a balance, right? There's an equilibrium. The internal equals external. There's not a not equal. You can't think of yourself as being broke and not worthy and whatever derogatory comments you want to make, and then expect to live a full life. So the self-esteem and self-image are critical. And one of the biggest challenge I had with myself, but I also have with clients, is that the perception is, no, I don't think of myself that way. The unconscious mind is where this self-image and self-esteem is stored. When we consciously think of ourselves, we're using our ego. So we create, and the ego wants to make sure it feels good. So consciously, we're going to say, no, that's not me. That's not who I am. But if you look at yourself, look at your reality, look at your circumstances, that is really your self-esteem and your self-image. And when you can notice that the external world, your friends, events, circumstances, is a mirror coming back to you to show you your self-esteem and self-image, then you work on the inside and the outside will happen. This is one of the big things with some of my clients who come to me for fitness. I am a personal trainer, but I don't prescribe workouts. What I do is ask them to think about themselves, and they'll make progress with other people, and then they'll go back to where they were before. They make progress and go back. It's like a thermostat in your house. If you have it set at 72 degrees, no matter you open the doors, open the windows, it's going to turn on, whatever, it's going to stay at that set point. So our self-image and our self-esteem is a set point. No matter what we do, we're always going to go back to that set point. So what we have to do is change the set point to where internally, to where we want to go. Then we start taking the actions in accordance with it, and our external world or external reality, our external results will then match our internal self-esteem and self-image. So there's a lot of steps to take in that. There's a lot of fun things to do. And this is one of the things I love about my coaching, is being able to work with people who want to get some goals, who want to accomplish stuff, but their self-image is one that, I'm not good enough to be a top performer. I'm not good enough. They'll never admit it out loud because that's just the ego protecting itself. But when we look at the behaviors that happen, and we look at the circumstances, the events out of your control or their control that happen, we then are able to dive into and create a really, really good picture of that self-image and that self-esteem. So I'm going to go over 4 simple steps. These are just the tip of the iceberg for improving self-image and self-esteem. So the first one, affirmations. Some people say affirmations work, some people don't. Whatever you want to call it, it's basically telling yourself a story. You are living in accordance with the affirmations you're saying right now, unconsciously. I'm not good enough. I can't lose weight. I can't make over 100,000 a year. I'm always going to be alone. I can't get good relationships. Why does this always happen to me? Blah, blah. All of those are affirmations. And you're programming yourself with those affirmations to create a reality you don't want. So, one of the best ways to start to change it around is affirmations. And we want to have affirmations that aren't lies, but support us progress. So if you're only making 100,000, you don't want to just say, "Oh, I make 400,000 a year." You can say, "I'm on my way to making 400,000 a year," because that shows a progress. But if we say it deliberately and we don't believe it, it's just not going to work. So we want to say it the way we want it with some variables in it. So I want to make at least 150,000 this year. I'm on my way to making 400,000. I'm worthy of abundance. That's a great one because abundance isn't just money. Abundance is health, it's friendship, it's life. So I am worthy of abundance. Louise Hay was a great, great, great practitioner at affirmations. She studied affirmations and what it does in the mind and how it changes our reality, how it changes our mindset, how it changes our vibrations. This affirmations, again, you can call it self-talk, whatever. We just want to affirm what we want. We as opposed to what we don't want. So affirmations are very, very, very powerful. And again, the key is say it the way you want it. I have heard a lot of people come to me with affirmations. Oh, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be overweight. I going, no, the unconscious mind does not know a negative. So when you say I don't want to be broke, all it hears is I want to be broke. And so we want to say it the way we want it. So affirmations are a great way because you can say affirmations while you're waiting in line, when you're driving the car, when you're taking a break, in between shows on TV, wherever it is. Affirmations are just ubiquitous. You can do them any place. This is why they're number one here. Next one is read. Read to grow. So if you're looking at your reality, you're looking at your circumstances, and it's something that you don't want, great way is to find biographies of people who are living the life in that area that you want. Now, granted, everybody has kinks in their armor, so we don't want to duplicate or mirror somebody's complete life. But if you are a business owner, you want to find somebody in business and read to understand how they behaved. They may have lousy relationships, so you don't want to read about their relationships, but you do want to read about their business. Then you find somebody else to read about relationships. But the more you can read and even watch biographies and stuff about individuals who are living or who have lived the life you want to live, you are then slowly programming your mind to go, this is what I want. This is how I want to behave. This is how I want to think. These are my values. These are my beliefs. And when you keep reading to grow, now there's nothing wrong with reading for entertainment. I love science fiction. Absolutely love it. So I will splash once in a while a science fiction movie or a book or something. And even that though gets me to think creatively about, wow, how could this happen? But then when I go into my reading for personal development and personal growth, it's a whole different ball game. But you want to, so read, pick things, there's TED Talks, there's great YouTubes out there, there's great audiobooks, there's great podcasts. There are so many ways to digest information to grow right now. But if we are feeling bad and we spend all of our time watching Real Housewives or drama shows or crap on TV and movies, it's just supporting our negative belief about ourselves. So we want to read, be exposed to, read, listen, watch things about people, events that we want to become like. Next is take daily action, just a little bit. Kaizen, that's a Japanese principle for just a small improvement every day. Kaizen, just take. So you have an affirmation that says, I'm on my way to making 400,000, and you're making 100,000 right now. Take small action. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm not saying to do this, but if you gathered up all your bottles and cans, brought them to recycling center, you would make another dollar today. So that's one action getting closer to it. Maybe another action is rewriting your resume. Then another action for the next day could be connecting with people on LinkedIn. If you are in a fitness one action today is just go to the gym. Just go to the gym and sit on a bike and pedal if you've never been to the gym. Then the next day you go to the gym, sit on the bike and pedal for 10 minutes. Then you start to measure it. But take daily action towards those affirmations, because that's keeping a promise to yourself. When you affirm, you're saying, I promise to myself I'm going to go in this direction. The actions support it. Otherwise, if you don't take the actions, you're telling yourself a lie, and you will not take the actions and you won't believe it. So so you have these affirmations. You read about people who have had or have a similar life that you have in what area that it is. Then you take just a small daily action. And that could even be, that daily action could be just start to measure your food. Start to measure your steps. If it's fitness, start a budget for your finances if you haven't done that. There are so many daily actions that you can take to support the affirmations on where you're growing, and these will build on each other. The next one, stop negative thoughts. Now, I say stop because that's easier to talk about, but really, when we try to stop negative thoughts, we focus on the negative thoughts and we create more. So we're fighting. What we resist persists. So what we want to do is, in addition to the affirmation, is focus on the positive thoughts. Every event has a silver lining. Every event has a learning. So if something happens to you during the day, instead of bitching and moaning and playing the victim, you could ask yourself, what's the learning on this? And a learning is something positive that moves you towards your goal. A learning is not, I will never do that again. I'll never date that type of person. I'll never make that investment again. That's not a learning. A learning is, I'm going to review the market analysis of the stock further before I invest. We want to find the positive learnings or feedback or experiences in everything. And we can find it because we create it. Every event is neutral. Every event. It's how we project it. And if we're used to projecting on events being negative and disempowering, we will continue that. We can take that same event and make it empowering and positive to us. It's just our mind shift. So focusing on positive ones is actually having you shift your thinking from fixed mindset to growth mindset and projecting that new thought, that new thinking onto a neutral event. And the more you can do that, the more you will start to see the positives and start looking at events in a more empowering light. So these four will build on each other, right? You say the affirmations on what you want, you read to support that, you take action to support those actions, and then you start focusing on the positive, the results that come back to you from an action that you take. You start focusing and finding the empowering thoughts, the empowering energy behind that. So just keep in mind that these four steps will help you increase your self-esteem and become the person you really want to be. Deep down inside, you can do more than what you're doing. You can be more than who you are right now. Not that who you are now or what you're doing now is bad, but there's more potential. There's more potential in every single one of us, and you know it. And these steps I just went through will help you break out of that comfort zone, the complacent zone, and step into your own empowerment. And just remember this, you're not going to change overnight. This is why we wanted to use that Kaizen principle, just a little small steps every single day. You're not going to change overnight, but even if it took you a year to change, that year is going to go by whether you do something or not. Why not do something to change yourself in the positive? And it'll take time, but as long as you're progressing, you are winning the war, winning the battle. Whatever that, the battle within our head of saying we're not good enough, we will win that. Just take your time and keep going. I strongly, strongly suggest that if you really, really, really want to improve your self-image, your self-esteem, so that you can create better results in your life, contact a coach. A coach can help you. I can help you. Other coaches are out there, if not me, but contact a coach to help you with that. So if you'd like to see the show notes for this podcast, you can find them at warriormindcoach.com. You'll find other information over there, more podcasts, more blog posts, and a way to contact me. And since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.